Yo, when I spit bars in a rain, man, I go hard like Santan.
Yo, hello. Welcome once again, one and all. It's your boy SV Carbaholic, and I'm back. Yes, back on hosting duty. And we are back with another weekly edition of TG Touchline Gunners. And I'm joined this evening by Mr. Sushi. How are you, sir?
I'm blessed, bro. I'm blessed.
Yeah, good man. Good to have you on. We are gonna take a look at the Port Vale game, which has just finished. We're waiting for the draw. The draw is going to be made shortly as well. I know if you are, and this is a quick plug, if you are a TG Patreon member, we appreciate you. You would have seen that Cougs run a post-match of the Man City game. So we're not going to touch on that tonight, but if you want to get our thoughts on that, go and take a look at the one that dropped on Monday evening for that as well. So, and if you do like the Patreon, be sure to tell a friend. We're always quick with the post matches. They're pretty much a staple of the Patreon. I know some of you guys like that instantaneous reaction, so go and take a look at that one. Tonight here, we're going to take a look at the Port Vale game, which has just finished, and probably do a quick preview of the Newcastle game, which is coming this weekend. So yeah, German, let me just come to you first and foremost. We saw the lineup when it dropped pre-game. It was very attacking, filled with loads of attackers. Obviously, we saw Eze, Ethan in it, Martinelli, Saka. We did wonder whether it would be Ethan up top with Marino in midfield, but it was very much Marino up top, and then we played two doing eights with Ethan and Eze. Obviously, Lewis Skelly came in at left back for his first start of the season. Ben White, I think that was his first start. Actually, no, he played at Old Trafford, but he was back after an injury. So loads and loads of changes. Kepa in for his first start as well. So I firstly, tell me your thoughts on the lineup, and then actually just tell me your thoughts on the lineup first and foremost when you saw that and what you were hoping to see.
Yeah, lineup. I was like, I was expecting a strong team. I think I saw some, in the group chat people were discussing, are we playing first teamers for this game, bro? We've got 25 first teamers to keep it a buck. So, there's a lot of players that he could have played. Udiga wasn't even on the bench. We know Havertz is out injured. We know Madueke is out injured. We know Jesus is out injured. There's a lot of players that we have. So yeah, lineup. I was happy to see Ethan start. I was happy to see Eze and Ethan start together. And then I think was intrigued to see Mosquera, Saliba at the back. And yeah, good to see Skelly start as well. So lineup was kind of what I expected. And nothing out of the ordinary. I was thinking, could Nelly be starting for the middle, Marino midfield? I think in the end, I would prefer the twin eights than Martinelli for the middle in this game just to see it. But yeah, I mean, lineup wasn't reinventing the wheel, was it? But yeah.
Yeah. When it first came out, it was strong. I knew it was going to be strong. Like you said, we have a squad of like almost 25 now. Most people, Arteta's got to lean into it. He's got to keep people happy. He's got to make sure people get minutes. So the likes of Lewis Skelly, who hadn't started a game, Ethan's come on in a few, but he hadn't started as well. Martinelli hadn't had a start in a little bit as well. So I kind of expected what it was. And Saka, we were told anyway in the press conference that he wanted the minutes to sharpen up. So and it came, obviously it sort of transpired that game. So I'll be honest with you, I was hoping to see some more entertainment. I'll be totally and honestly real with you. Are playing a League One side who aren't doing very well in League One by the looks of things as well. But I do know with these sorts of caveats, one, Arsenal are coming to town, so these men are going to raise their game to a different level. Partly for it was on TV, so they're trying to, even if they're trying to get potential buyers interested in them, maybe potentially the players put themselves in the shop window. And also, when you make as many changes as Arsenal do, I think there was 6, 7, 8 changes potentially to the lineup that started the weekend. Yeah, it's always going to be hard to gain a certain level of fluency. And that often happens, especially when these guys, the mix and match, they don't play together every week, and it's pretty much unlikely they're going to play together every week because the lineup will change significantly again for Newcastle at the weekend. So with that all in mind, how did you assess the first half, because I thought apart from the first 5 minutes, I thought we actually started quite well. It looked a bit slick. The interchanging was nice. Maybe you could say Port Vale, they didn't have really much time to get used to it. They didn't know what to expect. It's probably hard to plan for because you didn't know what Arsenal team or what Arsenal players were gonna choose, and it kind of transpired that way early on. Obviously, we saw the link up, Lewis Skelly and Eze for the first goal. I think there was another one later on where Eze had a decent chance. He probably should have scored and made it a second. But were you happy with what you saw in that first half, or is it a case of you expected a bit more?
Yeah, to be honest, I thought it was a very boring game. It was way too easy. I think first 10, they didn't even have jeopardy in the first 10. You know how you sometimes start these games and maybe this side is going to try to stick it on us. They didn't have that kind of effect on us, and then we started doing flicks and tricks in the first 10, 15. What minute did Eze score? Once he scored, it was just like a key ball session. It was honestly, it was training. I think. In our first half, I think we played better than in the second half. We did a couple decent bids, I thought. Then took it to halftime. Again, we never really put our foot on the gas in this game. Second half came out, felt like the team was just chilling. Like I think I said it in the group to you and Neil. I was saying these guys are playing like they don't want to get injured. Like, and I get it. Like this is to be honest, for them, it's a pointless game. Like they're better than these guys, and they're just going through the motions and managing the game. As a viewer, it was like flipping hell. I'm gonna have to watch all of this really. But yeah, it was and I mean the biggest indication of there being a player thing for me was like the likes of Eze and Ethan were very active in the first 10, 15, 20 minutes maybe. Second half, honestly, I don't even think they came for the ball deep. They didn't really want it. Like, I think they were just chilling. And in the end, the team was just managing the game. And then Port Vale, I think, got a bit of a not second win because they didn't really do anything. Like, commentators always try to jazz it up a bit, but they didn't do anything, to be honest. They tried to jazz it up a bit. But when Chessel came on, it was basically one long ball, touch, finish, and the game was done. I think Gyökeres sub was is twofold. Some of the stuff was encouraging. He looked sharper. I felt like he looked sharper. There was a bit more space towards the end of that half, and he got 2 or 3 balls into the channels onto them. There was one chance Dalman created with a nice pass where he should have scored. To be honest, his touch took him wide. Then he had to load the shot a bit differently to if the touch would have been in his stride, and he got blocked. But yeah, he should have probably scored. And yeah, to be honest, I don't think there was much in this game, like to analyze and see. Yeah, I don't think these men were really playing, to be honest, man.
It's the highlight books. And I guess when you're playing like potentially 50, 60 games a season, right? Some are going to be games where you sequence yourself through and you're just going to let's just get through this game without doing anything like stupid or like dumb and you could tell, like you said, some of them were ducking out of challenges. They were like
Nelly was doing that as well when he was throwing goal. Do you remember? Yeah.
And Leo did make the point. He was like, sometimes obviously you're trying to take it easy, but you actually might end up getting yourself injured by doing that as well. Sometimes it's more dangerous. So I do see that other side of the argument as well. But it looked to me like for a lot of them, it was, let me get 60, 70 odd minutes in my legs, just sequence myself, get myself ready for St. James's Park at the weekend, which I know is going to be a real test, not do anything too tough. So yeah, I agree with you. I think it's a bit of a crap game to analyze because there's not. I think obviously we trialed something with the dual 8s, and I think in the first half we saw some promising signs. Right, I thought Ethan was the best player in the first half. To me, he looked very active. He was on the ball, driving with it, a couple 1-2s. Looked really bright. And I know, and I think in his cameos this season he has looked bright. When he came on for Ødegaard in both the Leeds and Forest games, he's looked very bright. And obviously, it does look specifically because we always thought, would he maybe get minutes out wide? I was like, now that Madueke is injured, but he played the whole game again interior. So he's legit not seen a single minute out wide in pre-season or this season so far. So I guess it's one to watch and see how it evolves. Yeah, bro, it was just crap game, bro. And it's even like, even if I want to talk about individual performances, I'm kind of like, who do I talk about? Kepa, it's a non-event. He had nothing to do. even though it's his
He's
debut.
even getting bored to try and do
Yeah.
passes that he shouldn't be trying.
He was bored. I mean, Norgard, do you want to touch on him?
Yeah, I think he was rubbish, to be honest. Like, I mean, I think Norgard is a good player, and I stand by that. You know, I don't mind him as a squad addition because these are the type of games where he should play the full 90 minutes, and other players don't even have to come on. Like some players don't have to come on. And I think he brings good experience and whatever. But yeah, he was rubbish. Like, a lot of the passes were sideways. I don't think he played with much personality. I think from his perspective, like more so than like the Eze's, the Ethans, the Saka. I think Saka was trying to force the issue a bit too much. I'm like, brother, relax in the first 30. I was like, Saka, relax. I can tell why he always plays, and he probably lies about being injured because the way this guy plays, he relaxed a bit in the second half, but it's like he plays the game with proper intent. Saka, but yeah, going back to Norgard, I was basically saying that for him, these are the games where he can make a claim. Like Eze is not going to make a claim off the back of this game. He's going to play in the big games. He's going to play in the league. Like, do you know what I mean? He's there. He's Eze. But Norgard is not going to see any minutes in these games ever unless he completely balls out in like these random games that we have. So I think from his perspective, it was probably double bad actually that he just let the game pass him by. Look, I said pass him by. The game went through him because he, you know, yeah, probably had the most touches or whatever, but he didn't affect the game in a way that he could have probably, like more forward passes, maybe just trying a few things. Like this is easy opposition. I get this is regular scheduled programming for these guys. It's a training game in the end of the day. But if I look at anyone out there tonight to try to stake a claim, it was probably Norgard and maybe Skelly. But I think Skelly played quite well in the first half, and then he also relaxed, which is cool. He's gonna get minutes. So yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, he's not going to get in the team, but he should try be like the man in these games. I think.
Yeah,
When
yeah,
people are not really on it.
yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you. I feel like we're proper shortchanging the listeners, but honestly, like it's one of those games in the season. Legit, not much to take away from it, and I think trying to overanalyze it is you're only going to do yourself like you see with me. I've got wider problems with the team, but I don't think this is the game to.
I see some N-words reaching tonight already.
Who?
Nah, I'm not gonna say names, man. But you don't have to reach like off the back of a League Cup game against Port Vale. You ain't got to reach this hard, man.
Say the name, brother.
Just wait to St James's Park and get cook after that game. If we don't win that game, you're gonna have materials to cook, man. But now, come on, brother. We all got work tomorrow. It's Thursday. Thursday's usually busy, bro. Like, stop that, man.
Okay, cool. But one question to take from it that I will ask you, yeah. All right. So we had loads of changes. So obviously I did caveat that at the start, right? But do you have any concerns about our game model? Because we had loads of changes today. There were a lot more, you could say, quote unquote, threatening players. Eze and Ethan were there. Saka was there. Martinelli was there. And even caveating the amount of changes we made and maybe the level of opposition, I think up until that Trossard goal, we still had only had like 7 shots, like 2 shots on target. So are you concerned about that? Because I sit probably a bit on the other side to you, where I know you sometimes say, can these guys get their shots off? But I'm kind of like, what type of quality shots are we getting off? It just feels to me like we are always relying on the wingers to break open the game for us. And I understand if that's our game model, cool, but can we have some diversification? Can we have a bit more variety? And I thought maybe with this experiment, the 8s and their different profiles to what we usually use in those positions, can we do more? But it seems, to me a bit more like, and like I said, I'm trying not to judge too much because of the quality of the opposition, and I don't think they care to. But are there concerns generally with the overall game model?
I said this before. I'm not that concerned about the game model. Not like you guys are. I'm really not. I'm really not. I think it's about. I think the main 2 things. And I think we've started okay. I think we're starting to warm up a little bit. There's starting to be some chemistry between the new players and the existing players. But I think the main two things that are holding us back, playing really well and scoring plenty goals and creating plenty at the moment, is a Galaxy braining lineups. Like I'm not 100% against Marino starting at Anfield. Like, I'm not against having a plan for certain games. I think the start against City was just needless. Even if as hasn't played on the right before, play Ethan then, I think he has Galaxy brained that lineup, even though we completely dominated that game. Again, people are trying to question that, but for me, it was a complete domination. Like, I've not seen Guardiola retreat like this. Guardiola basically ran like a battle of the bastards, and Guardiola was like, I'm packing it in. He didn't get his sword out. He was like, nah, I'm packing it in, man. Like, he wasn't Jon Snow getting the sword out and trying to fight. He just said, nah, let me just let me put my bag away and let's be going. So so I think with the game model, I think quality is important. There's a big discussion. So I think the two things are outside Galaxy Brain lineups, and he has done this in the last couple of games. People say it's the handbrake. I don't think in his mind it's the handbrake, and I don't think it's the handbrake. It's just him Galaxy braining it. Attributing things to Marino that I don't think necessarily he has to the degree that Arteta thinks he has, even though he has a lower level degree of that, but not to the higher degree that Arteta thinks. So I think it's just Galaxy brain and lineups. And then the other part is I do think Gyökeres is a big part of the puzzle. And right now, keeping it a buck, the guy hasn't looked good in general play. Like, I think you can clearly see that he is capable of finishing. But getting the shots off, he has struggled. And when I say getting the shots off, he has struggled, is looking at the other players in the team. Like, Madueke hasn't struggled getting the shots off. Like, Saka wouldn't struggle getting shots off. Like, Trossard isn't. Like, Martinelli has come off the bench with 2-3 games now. He scored twice. Like, do you know what I mean? I feel like the others are not getting off their game completely or fine, but like Eze has had shots. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like Gyökeres is struggling a bit to adapt, and I think it's one fitness, but also a quality thing. Like, he needs to try, and with quality, I mean, like, he needs to try and make a mark on the game. Like, I've seen him do on the tapes, he looked like, this brute force that would force the issue. And I think I've only seen him do that and be that in the Forest game. That's the game when I thought, okay, like, he might get the ball, go past a man, try pass it to another guy, get the ball again, shoot, like the Noni move that he did. I just expect him to do that way more. And if he does that way more, with Udegaard coming back, Eze playing, Saka playing, I think we'll have quite a lot of joy. But right now, he's not doing that enough. I say enough. He's not doing it at all, apart from that Forest game, in my opinion. So I think him and Arteta are a big part of the puzzle to figure out over the next 6 to 8 weeks and see where we land. And then I think for both we have solutions. Ultimately, Arteta can Galaxy brain as much as he wants, but quality is quality. We have Eze now. If we wouldn't have signed Eze, I think I'd be concerned. But we have signed Eze. We have Udegaard coming back. Saka is back. Come on, man. Like, they're gonna figure it out. And Ethan is there as well. So the other bit is Gyökeres. Can he? So I think Newcastle's a tough game away from home, but after that, it's pretty much a free run. It's pretty much a free run, and he should be picking up a lot of goals, bro. Should be picking up a lot of goals.
Yeah,
if not, you know who's Omar is coming. Omar is coming, brother. Yeah.
All right, do you know what? So I thought you made some good points there, and where I do agree with you.
I was on a long monologue. My bad. I was moving.
No. It's good, because I think there was a couple of points that I wanted to pin on. Like, the first one, I do agree with you. We bought 8 new players this season. That's a lot of new players to acclimatize into a squad, and it's not even like some of them have had time to ease in, because we've had quite a few injuries. Some of the guys have just been thrown in. So, we've not really had the chance to bed them in, maybe as you potentially would have liked over the course. And I guess another point is that maybe we haven't seen what everyone, quote unquote, might think is the best lineup, right? In terms of Eze, Erdegaard, Saka, Gyökeres. So I also take that point into consideration. So for me, like, you know, my concerns around open play XG, chances created, big chances created. If it doesn't rocket up once we see that quartet play together, I agree with you. Then I think concerns ramp up significantly. But I'm gonna give that a chance. So that's point 2. Point 3, which I think is important. We have had the hardest start in the league. Like, you know, for your first 6 games and to have 3 of them being at Old Trafford, St James's Park, and Anfield, and then Man City at home included in that as well. PG, they want you. They want us dead, bro. Like they literally want us dead. So I do understand that, and I do take that into account. That's why the 5 points isn't terminal for me at the moment, because you can make that back. Although I don't think I'd be concerned if it grew a bit more than that. I think 5 we can manage. Once it starts to get to 8, I'm like, that's a big turnaround you need in your favor. A big turnaround you need in your favor. 5 at this stage I can manage. But for me, and it's a good way to segue, that is contingent on us winning at St James's Park this weekend. I think we need to. I think we must. Had we beaten City on Sunday, I'd have been like, we can maybe take a draw here. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because like, if we had won, the gap still would have been 3 points. Do you get what I'm saying? At the weekend, if we had beat
my thinking is we got to win every week. That's the expectation. As soon as Arsenal don't win, niggas crash out.
Yeah. No, for me, Arsenal should win all the time. But I'm trying to caveat and understand, like, from a block of 6, if you say we win this weekend, against that will, so what are we on? We're on 10. So that would put us on 13 points, right? 13 from 18. That I think that's a decent start. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's a decent start. Bearing in mind, I think had Arteta not galaxy brained, we could have beaten City. And really and truthfully, that Liverpool game should have finished 0-0, if not for a worldy free kick. So in another world, we could potentially be sitting on, if everything was right, 17 points out of 18. And that is sensational.
But that's the swings and roundabouts. So we might end up with like 13 out of 18.
If we win on Sunday,
God willing, But then another like Liverpool, they are 15 out of 15, but
they've had
realistically should probably be 10 out of 15 or 9 out of 15.
They've definitely not been at their best and played well. And I guess who have they played? They've had us. Have they had any other really, really tricky fixture so far? I think to be Newcastle away. To be fair,
Newcastle away. Some people would say Bournemouth at home, but then we had Forest at home.
I would
probably better than Bournemouth.
Don't get me wrong. Bournemouth are decent, but I would still expect Liverpool to be Bournemouth.
It's not a tricky fixture. Not at home as well.
Okay, and even if you take the Merseyside derby, I think the Merseyside derby at Goodison.
No. That's a gimme. That's been a gimme for like 30 years.
I say at Anfield it's a gimme. At Goodison it's a different game. Do you know what I mean? Because even though they're superior to Everton, you know the factors about it being away. You know, Everton can drag you into the mud, and when they drag you into the mud, that becomes a different game. Do you understand what I'm saying as well? So I understand that. So I'll give them the Newcastle and us. But yeah, I agree with you. They probably shouldn't be on maximum points from what they are. But cool, whatever. That's where they are. So, but okay, cool. Segue into it. I do think this is a must-win this weekend. Partly because I don't think we can allow the gap to grow too much at this stage.
I hear that, yeah.
And
it'll just be concerning. I think we can make it up. Even if it was 8, we can make it up. But you don't want to be in a position where you have to make up 8 already. So
because even say, for example, say even if we draw and they win, that's 7. 7 is still okay to make up, but because what my concern is, you start to then leave yourself, you know, as every week goes by,
you just chase. We're not in the same position as last season, but we find ourselves in a position where we have to chase. We have to chase every week.
The margin for error becomes a lot smaller. And what my concern is, you know how we ended the 23-24 season, I think, where we won 16, drew 1 and lost 1 of our last like 18 games or something. So we went almost perfect, and it still wasn't enough because, you know, the first half of that season, I think we had lost like 4 games. So even though how we ended the season was brilliant, it wasn't enough, right? So this is a case of, you know, everyone's going to have bad results during the season, but you never want the bad results to be in a cluster, right? Like you want it spread out. So that's kind of my only concern. So yeah, for me, must win. What do you think are the key battles this weekend? Because we know what Newcastle were like. That WWE midfield trio is very peak. I mean,
I think
obviously,
honestly, the problem with this game for me is Newcastle. A lot will depend on the referee, and that is the danger with this Premier League. A lot depends on the referee in these games. Like how's he reffing this game? Is he giving out yellow cards? Is he letting Bruno Guimaraes and Joelinton get away with repeated fouls? What's his appetite for the game? And that's what's going to make the game for us. Because I think that's what's going to make the game for us. To be honest, I think we can manage either way, but it'll play a big part, and it shouldn't, to be honest. The WWE midfield, Joelinton would try put Odegaard if he's playing in the chokehold. Bruno Guimaraes is going to try snap Rice. Like we know what they're on. And the issue I have is that, as I said, there's two elements that I think are holding us back a bit at the moment. As I attack Galaxy Brandon lineups, I can easily see him start Marino in this game, given the physicality Newcastle got in their midfield, trying to combat and compete with them in midfield with
if I see that midfield trio again, bro, come on, man.
I can see it, man. Like keeping it a buck. I think the only thing that can save us from that is if Odegaard is fit. But
he needs to
be honest, him not playing today, why? Do you know what I mean? The fact that he wasn't on the bench.
Well, they did ask Arteta in his press conference. He said it's a matter of days. They said he's been training, so it might have just been they saw. He said,
keeping them clean for that game, maybe. Yeah,
because it's not like he's got any sort of muscle or like lower leg injury in it. It's the shoulder, so it might just be a thing where they're saying just rest the shoulder in it. So so hopefully, but the thing is, I need because what I've noticed is that I feel like with Arteta, he's keen a lot on, obviously, we know that out of possession stuff, the press, who's leading the press, the positional stuff. And it's, for me, it's like he trusts Odegaard, he trusts Kai, and then after that, he trusts Marino. I feel like he places a lot of trust in Marino for that as well, which...
He does follow his game plan. He has weaknesses, but structurally, he follows the game plan.
Yeah, I hear it. But my only thing is, again, how is that going to help us to create? What method, again, are we going to try and create? Newcastle one of those teams I class that's and we've struggled at St James's Park, that have that sort of mid block. So can we break that mid block? I think what
team are you going with? How would you start?
I'm hoping Odegaard's fit. So, and if Odegaard is fit, I'm going Eze, Odegaard and Saka behind Gyökeres and Rice and Zubi. Like you said, I don't think certain things need to be galaxy brained, bro. I really don't think it needs to be galaxy brain. Calla at left back, Timber. In fact, I think the team quite picks itself. If Odegaard is fit, I think the team picks itself. I don't know. The galaxy brain of Arteta.
I'm not sure. The thing. There's two positions I'm not sure about.
Okay, left wing. I know, and who's playing behind the striker? I already know that. I could tell.
No. I'm not sure on left wing. I think Martinelli. There's a fine balance between Martinelli coming off the bench and affecting the game, but Martinelli also starting the game, helping us pin Newcastle back, just by his speed. So I'm kind of like torn between like, should Eze play 10 and then Martinelli left, and I wouldn't mind that. So I'm open to that solution. And then the other one is left back. I think Calafiori has started really, really well. But I think the game could be really frantic. I'm kind of tempted. I think MLS is a better defender than him. And 1v1.
And they're using Ilanga on that side, right?
Exactly. And I know that I know them pasta hamstrings ain't built for that. Ain't built for that, bro. The Linguine is not it can't deal with all that, I think.
Bro, yeah. Do you know
He's
what?
a committed defender. He follows the plan and stuff.
But one of the things, St James's Park is a big pitch as well, bro. There's a lot of ground to cover in that pitch, bro. One of them ones where if they start getting you into a foot race, you're like, bro, this could be stressful, bro.
Who's playing left wing for these, man?
Gordon, innit?
Because I think it'd be Elanga, Gordon, and Barnes. That's how I think they're gonna line up.
No, they have done that initially, but I think they'll put Walter Mudde up top. I think they'll play with a
bro.
Because if not, then it will probably be Gordon up. Because you know how they started against Liverpool, it was Gordon up top, it was Barnes left wing, and Elanga right wing, but then Gordon obviously got sent off.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I mean, you might be right. You might be
This
right.
game
But
is that's why this game is interesting for me, because I wouldn't be against.
the only reason I think Walter Mardon might start is because I saw him on the bench tonight. He didn't start for Newcastle in the League Cup tonight, and they played some whack team. So I feel like I saw Newcastle's lineup tomorrow, and I was like, I can see some of. I feel like some of the decisions Hal made was with Arsenal in mind this weekend. So yeah.
Okay, I might have to have a look at that lineup, but yeah.
Yeah, take a look at like who started, and you're like, okay. Obviously, it was still quite a strong team. Like some of their first team was started, like Bruno G and Joe Linton both started. I saw Elanga and someone else as well. So there was rotation, but some of the ones that were left out, like Tonali was left out. I was like, God damn, I know this brother gonna be hunting, bro, on Sunday, bro. So
fucking
yeah,
gambling addict, man.
So so you would go Eze and Martinelli, yeah?
No, I'm just open to it, like, because I think Martinelli has value in this game, perhaps to start. And I think when we do the subs, I think Trossard can affect the game from the bench. Martinelli can affect the game from the bench, granted. And I think, another point I forgot to mention, because when we were chatting, I think Arteta has started with Marino on some of these games to try and manage these games and assert a level of dominance, to then bring what he's now calling game changers on, and it's backfired. Like the City game, we started the wrong lineup. They got the goal early, and they did something very uncharacteristic. They completely like shut shop, played 7-3-0 for times in the game, and I don't think we expected that, and we were trying, but we couldn't find many opportunities, to be honest. And then Liverpool, he did the same thing, where I think Liverpool, we were closer to the promised land, where he did that. We managed the game at Anfield, which is why I don't think Marino was that bad of an idea in that game. Was it 60 minutes or something? We then bring this up as a chance.
Yeah, but I do remember that game at Anfield, and we said we thought Liverpool the game, like the second half, we started seeded ground quite early, and we said I thought he left the changes a little bit too late. But I hear you. It was closer. The game plan was a bit closer to what you wanted to contain, and then try and win it late. But
yeah,
I do think sometimes when you just leave it
to that same shit, watch. I think that's
I do think sometimes when you leave it to those margins, you're at risk of it going against you. So it's one to watch. So we will see. Yeah, I think
the thing is, I think he's not saying he's leaving it to the margins. He's saying that these are the margins. I'm improving our chances of winning if I bring on these game changers in these tight games.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay. Cool. Let's do. Oh, by the way, we got Brighton in the League Cup. God damn! I couldn't they give us a lower league team or something, man? Gosh. And I know Brighton are gonna try and come and cook, bro. that your countryman Hertzler, bro. You're gonna be coming with something, bro.
Yeah, that's. I mean, what the fuck? What round of the League Cup is this to get Brighton?
Fourth round.
Boy.
To be fair, Newcastle got Spurs as well. So there's some.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Newcastle has got. What is that game at home or away?
What game? Oh,
Brighton.
Which one? No, we're at home. We're at home. So so I still expect us to rotate, but like when it's just
rotate, yeah, sure.
Yeah, definitely, when it's like you could have given us someone better, bro. Like
I just needed a gimme, man. Little game in the evening.
I needed another like Sheffield United or something at home. Bro.
Yeah, something like that.
Right, and I'm like, Brighton is one of them because they ain't got nothing else to play for, so them man are coming for it in the League Cup as well. So
100.
But yeah, so we'll see. All right, cool. Let's just do a couple listeners' questions to finish off. We've had quite a few around what can we do to create better chances. It feels the majority of our
games. It's coming, don't worry, man.
Hey, bro. Someone said, what's the actual solution? I can see a similar performance happening for Newcastle. We've spoken about the lineup. Okay, so here from King Keshi 13, it says Calafiori seems to have a lot of license in the team, freedom to roam. Why do you think that is when you potentially have some more talented players? So obviously, I think partly the final third is the most congested area of the pitch, so there's not going to be as much space. Like, you know, if you can have someone who is good on the ball from deep, that can aid you a lot, I guess. So that'd be a lot of my reasoning for that, you know. And even when you watch like a PSG, for example, you see Nuno and
the same thing.
Nuno Mendes and Hakimi, they come inside a lot and they wreak a lot of havoc. So I think just the way football is now, with the final third being so congested, the players on the ball who have the most time are the ones that are deeper. So if they've got a lot of ability on the ball, can get stuff cracking. You saw it with Man City even back when, you know, when Cancelo was there, Zinchenko was there, they were always cooking something from deep in it. Do you know what I mean? So I hear it.
No, it's the reality, man. Like, I feel like a lot of fans still have that mindset of overlapping fullbacks needs to be the thing. And it's like, bro, try that shit. You're vacating spaces in a more predictable way that teams can counter you. Whereas if you have someone like a Calafiori, like a Hakimi, like a Nuno Mendes, where they take up different positions, they have the quality to fact in all phases. They're just adds a layer of unpredictability. And as you said, like, you know, if you're higher up in the pitch, the left winger, the guy that's playing in the 10, they're easier to mark for the opposition. If there's another guy that then sometimes joins, like it was today again, the case. How did the goal happen? Marcelo Skelly joined the very last line, or the very first line, whatever you want to say. He's high up on the pitch as Eze and our striker, and then, you know, slight flick to Eze to get the goal. If Skelly's not in that position, that goal doesn't happen. So you need to get more players in the box. You need to get more disruption, and that's all they're trying to do. Disrupt very settled blocks, basically, by movement that's unexpected.
No, I hear you. I don't disagree too tough with that. Sam E_91 says, with Noni signed, who steps up to rotate with Saka, Dalman or Ethan, and why, or someone else?
It's going to be Nelly right wing.
I was just about to say, bro. I know for this guy's a sicko, bro. He's a sicko.
But to be fair, Ethan don't want to play wing, innit?
Huh?
Otherwise, it would be him, I think.
Well, the thing is, when Ethan signed his contract, he said he's happy to play in all attacking 5 positions. So he never said he's not happy to play there when he signed his contract. It's just he's not been used there. But yeah, I think he could do right if he supported. If he had like Ben White supporting him, I think Ethan could really cook on the right. I
think it should be Ethan, to be honest. Given Noni Madueka's injury, it should be Ethan, in my opinion.
Even though Ethan's a different profile, he's not someone, he's not like a high volume dribbler who's going to get it and go at it every time.
Or Nivas Martinelli.
God damn. This Bass guy, bro. He's going to finish me. Cool. Someone said, all right, we'll end with this one then. Miraculous Mirad Semra says, what would be your all-time Halo?
What kind of name is that, man? What's going on, bro? Doing too much, man. Just keep it short and sweet, bro.
Hey, listen, we don't discriminate here. Well, maybe German does, but listen, that's a story for another day. He says, what would be your all-time Haaland 11? If that's not possible, what lineup would you put out that the current squad that would include Saka as a MLS, Ethan, and Dalman? I think you could do one.
Yo, who's in goal though?
I think Chesney was classed as homegrown, even though
he was Chesney.
You could put maybe Ashley Cole is obviously the left back if you didn't want to do that.
Bellerin right back. Bellerin used to be decent, man.
Yeah, you could do Bellerin right back. Centre backs. Yeah, this is where it's tough, boy. Arsenal don't do homegrown centre backs, boy. Yeah, we might be strapped. I might claim Saliba as homegrown, boy. He's homegrown, so, bro. We might have to include him in this Haaland thing, bro. Because
what's the Olo and flipping Lewis always talk about?
Oh, Marley Salmon, the 15-year-old.
No, not the new one. There's someone that plays in the Champ, I think.
Oh, he's in the Prem now with Sunderland. Daniel Ballard. Actually, that's a good shout. That's actually a very good shout. So you could have done that, or you could have done
time, bro.
Yeah,
I'm like,
or you could have done Aiden Heaven that went Man United as well. So he could potentially, made it. Midfield, I think that you could easily just pick Sander. You got options though. So you got MLS, you got Ethan, you got Eze, you got Jack Wilshere.
Let's do them two then.
Which one? Who? Which ones?
Yo.
Yeah, which ones?
I would go Fabregas clearly midfield.
Is Fabregas? Can we classify Fabregas as Haaland?
I think so.
Okay, all right.
So, yeah.
I'll let you. All right.
Got
So what?
Fabregas
Fabregas,
midfield, bro.
Fabregas, and what? Wilshere.
Fabregas, Wilshere, and Eze, no?
Yeesh, boy, if you're letting that's very peak, bro. And then what? You could do Saka.
Bro, that's super duper peak.
Yeah.
Gnabry.
Yeah, Gnabry could classify.
Saka, Gnabry. Kane.
That's a Kane. Do you know
Harry
what?
Kane.
Yeah, boy, Harry Kane could classify. Hey, bro, that team is peak, you know, bro, especially the midfield and attack. That is very, very peak, bro. Hey, bro, with some better centre backs, man. Some better centre backs. Hey, bro, that team could do. Hey, bro. All right, fair enough. All right, German, we said we'll be in and out. Let's leave it there, guys. We've done 40 minutes. It's a quick one today, but we'll be back again because we're at the weekend and we're going to come back with a post-match after the Newcastle. So thank you very much for joining me, German. Thank you very much for joining me, listeners. We will catch you with a post-match after the Newcastle game, hopefully with 3 points in the bag. Peace.
Yo. When I spit bars in the rain, man, I go hard like Santan.